that's the task of this team, is putting those things together. But seeing Dion adjust to and embrace coming off the bench, that's going to go a long way towards this team and giving you that defense off the bench, because it cannot just be all the starters and that's it. I mean, that's huge. But, obviously that's where the interest came in with Kyrie and Dion to me, in how they were going to adjust to this, because there's two ways you can go when you're starting to get alpha males bucking up at each other and everybody's trying to sort things out. You can either just continue to butt heads, or you can sit back and figure out how to make things work. And those are the questions, because this thing's going to go on with or without people. I mean, they're going to find the right people and the right pieces to fit it together. So it's up to you to figure out how you fit into this, because the Cavs are going to figure out what fits together. And I'm not saying they're going to trade it. I'm just saying they're going to find pieces that fit. If you want to be one of those pieces, then you figure it out. And I love the way I like Kyrie, and the way what he does can fit into this team. He's got that great ability to break guys down one-on-one. My biggest problem with that has always been that he plays the point guard, because if he was a shooting guard, it would be so much more acceptable for him to break guys down on the dribble like that, man. So, that's the trick, because then you get the next night like Denver, where he's passive offensively. He doesn't, he's got to figure out when to be aggressive, when to be passive. It's going to take him quite a while to figure it out. But I'd much rather he go 5 of 11 with 6 assists than go 15 of 30 with no assists, even if he does score 30 points. But that's cool. Like, I saw an interesting question in a newspaper article over the weekend. Said, if 12 points and 6 assists is what the Cavaliers need from Kyrie Irving to win 60% of their games, is that okay with him? Because to me, the answer is yes. That's it. Then you figure it out. If you need him to be a 12-6 guy, then that's what it is. If you need him to be a 20-8 guy, then that's what you need him to be, whatever. So that's going to be the key question. But I have no problem. To be honest with you, I'd rather be a 12-12 guy. I mean, there's no reason with this offense that Kyrie Irving couldn't lead the league in assists. And I know some of you just spit up your coffee when I said that, but there's no reason that he can't. I'm not saying he will, but with the weapons that he would have to pass to and his ability to break down and drive and then pass, there's no reason that he couldn't have double-digit assists. I think you guys aren't asking enough of him by being looking at what he does as a looking at what he does as a point guard. Not asking enough of him, man, because he could most definitely he could easily average 8 assists a game for the season, no doubt about it. And LeBron, too, I like the difference in him the other night. As far as, to me, there's a difference between teaching your guys a lesson and standing around and doing it like, well, if you're going to pout, I'm going to pout, and we're all going to do this together. That's cool. You did it once. You made your point. But I much appreciate more the way LeBron's done the last 2 games, being much more aggressive and still doing his thing, teaching more by example. I mean, it's a work in progress. Tonight's going to be a hell of a test, you guys. I'm telling you right now, I mentioned Anthony Davis being a MVP candidate. Look at his numbers early on. We're only a week and a half into the season, but he's averaging almost 25 points a game, almost 13 rebounds, and 4.5 blocks and 2 steals. That's Defensive Player of the Year, no doubt, and that's MVP candidate type numbers for sure. Again, it's early. He's a big man. Injuries, all those things can come in, but man, that's going to be a test. Anderson Varejao, Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love, those guys are going to have to body up on Anthony Davis for sure. For sure. And you got Omar Ashik out there too. That was a guy Cavs flirted with bringing him here, remember, from Houston over the last couple of off seasons. But there's going to be some tests there for sure. This is a game here. We're going to see what lessons the Cavs have learned on this road trip. They moved the ball the other day. Can they continue that, or will it kind of slip backwards? Will we go back to what we saw in those bad games, such as the Knicks and Portland game, or will they continue that ball movement? When the ball's moving, this team finds the open shot. Even the other night, even with that victory that they had the other night, there were times that, and a couple of these were on Kyrie. If you guys were watching, you might have remembered a few of them too, where the Cavs made 4 or 5 passes on a rotation, and still they're just one pass short. And you know that when they go back and watch, like I saw I was sitting with a buddy and a notepad watching Friday night's game, just taking some observations, and there were a handful of times, at least 4, that I said, man, when they go back and watch this on tape, they're going to realize that they were one more pass away from nailing it. Like, they were doing a great job of having the defense chase like a chicken with their head cut off, always a step behind the pass, and then one more pass had the man wide open, the right shot that they were looking for, and you can see it coming. And as they watch the tape, they're going to see the same thing that we see when we're watching the game. I'm no genius here. David Blatt's seeing the same thing. LeBron, Kyrie, these guys are going to see the same thing. And they'll learn on getting that extra pass. And when they do, watch out for it, man. Watch out for it. But let's see. Tonight's a good test. They come back home. As a matter of fact, not just tonight. Let me pull up the schedule here in front of me, but I do believe they've got a good run here of home games coming up after they had the 4 out of the first 5 being on the road. You've got New Orleans. You got the quickie getaway to Boston here coming up this week. Then you've got 3 straight at home, and you end the month with 4 more. So you've got, 8 of the remaining 10 games this month are all home games. The only roadies are 2 Fridays. The 14th, they're in Boston, and the 21st, they take on a nice improved Wizards team as they go to Washington. Other than that, you've got the Pelicans tonight, Atlanta, Denver, San Antonio comes on the 19th. That'll be a good early season test. That's an ESPN game there. Toronto, Orlando, Washington, Indiana, all home games. So now they get a good slate of home cooking, and that's cool too, but it's a different set of distractions, different set of everything. Let's see what they did with this road trip. Even though you lost 2 out of 3, you could clearly, this one was almost like a diagram drawn out. You could see the difference. They were absolutely discombobulated in the first one. They lost by practically 19 points or what it was to Portland. Second night, much better, especially in the second half of the game, but they gave up the game-winning shot there at the end. They got clipped, but they were much improved, and then they took care of business Friday. That's kind of the order I'd like to see that thing go, at least. If you're going to stumble, each one better than the one before. So now let's take those lessons learned, because like I said, tough one tonight with the Pelicans at the Q. My son will be there. Happy birthday to him. 7 p.m. tip-off for those incredibly overpriced Cavaliers. Just kidding. Whatever, man. But they're definitely not cheap Cavaliers tickets tonight. Have fun with that one. It's on Fox Sports Ohio as well, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Speaking of the Cavs, Eddie Jansen from More Than a Fan Cleveland, he's scheduled to be on with us Thursday coming up this week, so we'll talk about the latest with the Cavs with him as well. Tomorrow, Jeff Gorman, Indians101.com. Who else is here tomorrow? Dr. Football's in the house. Doug Plagans from the Lake Erie Monsters, and you doing what we do. We'll talk about the Cavs game tonight. Did they win or lose? Monday Night Football, Browns, look back, look ahead, all of that, baby. You know how we do it. Monsters dropped one. We'll look ahead to what their latest slate is and more tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, live at noon. Right here on the Sports Fix. See, so much for a short show. I'm never, ever, ever saying that again. Guys, we'll be here tomorrow. We love you, Cleveland. Have a great night and come back and join us. We'll see you tomorrow right here on The Fix.
Still about the paper, gotta make sure the lights on. Just a mistake on the lake to you, but this is my own. Tatted it on my arm, that I represent that. Homie, I'm from Cleveland, I will tell the president that. Hardest, yeah, we been there. Made some of the greats here. Midwest best, this is MGK's, yeah. Shouts out to St. Clair, uptown, yes, y'all. Heading to the flex, get it popping up with Steph Flaws. Old State Monster, this the home of King James. We are not the empire, but this is where the kings play. Cleveland, let's go.
We rep our city. Blue lights separate the ground from the gritty. Red 6 fitted. Hood pass cover any city that we